going to do a update to the black-green Dreadfeast standard list. Uh, Recorded recently before Kamigawa Neon Dynasty came out. Before the new Kamigawa came out, recorded the list as it was. And now we are updating it with the new Kamigawa set. I believe it is doing well, and several iterations have led me to this list. So the previous black-green Dreadfeast was more focused on reanimation, on color, and we just cut the reanimation completely in favor of just good creatures, and the plan is to just ramp out your threats and take over the game. So we'll start with our threats. So again, we have Toxrill the Corrosive, a 7/7 that will slowly eat away at your opponent's army and in the process give you more tokens. We also have Dreadfeast Demon. If you cast Dreadfeast Demon and it hits your end step, you get another Dreadfeast Demon after sacrificing one of your creatures, and then the cycle continues until you have nothing but Dreadfeast Demons, which are 6/6 flying creatures that most decks cannot get past once they get going. We also have new addition, Junji, the Midnight Sky, so a 5/5 flying but also menace, and when it dies you can choose to have your opponent discard 2 cards and lose 2 life, or you can reanimate a non-dragon from your graveyard and lose 2 life. And then a 1/of Springleaf Avenger, so we get ourselves a 6/5 for 4 mana if we're able to use ninjutsu to get this card out onto the battlefield. And as a bonus, this will also let you return a permanent from a graveyard to your hand. So a way to get stuff back. And usually it's, something insignificant, but it could also be something really useful. And 6/5 for 4 seems really ridiculous. I don't know why this is a dollar rare. So before we go on to how we ramp into our creatures, we also have our removal suite. We have 2 Meathook Massacres to just wipe the board with one fell swoop. And then with the addition of new decks, we have more Planeswalker-centric decks. So I had to make room for 3 Heroes Downfall. So that's where we stand. Prior to the new set, it was just all creatures and the Meathook Massacre, but Heroes Downfall was good when it was a rare. It's even better and more accessible as an uncommon, so 3 in the deck here. I slept on Fell Stinger, a new addition to the deck, a way to give yourself some draw, and also a way to throw down some removal, as it has Death Touch, so on the ground it's difficult to attack into that. And then for our ramping, we have Eye Twitch, which is a 1-drop, which can give you access to your lesson plan in the sideboard, which one of them might be a ramp spell. Stay tuned. We also have Prosperous Innkeeper, which gets you a treasure and also gains you life. Reclusive Taxidermist also gets you 1 mana of any color and can sometimes become a 4/4 should the game go that long. And we also have Cemetery Prowler, a 3/4 vigilance that can exile a card from a graveyard and make that same type of card 1 less to cast. So you can have your 7 drops cost 6, your 5 drops cost 4, and so on. And it's also main deck graveyard removal as well. When it comes to the mana base, we're still rocking the 1 planes. Stay tuned for why. We have our suite of black-green lands. I do not have and do not want to spend the wilds on the Deathcap Glade, but you can take your pick as to whatever you'd like. Um, Moving closer to Deathcap Glade, as with the addition of the Kamigawa lands, there's less basic lands, but sometimes playing the Blossom on turn 1 untapped is also a good plan. We have our Field of Ruin for destruction of land. That is also man. We also have our own man land, Lair of the Hydra, for a swamp, and then we have 2 Boseiju who endures and 1 Takenuma. Since they're legendary, don't want to fill up too much on this land. Figured Boseiju likely will have a target, so we'll run 2. So we have our lesson plan and sideboard. So our lesson plan, yes, we have 1 environmental sciences, 1 necrotic fumes, 1 containment breach, 1 pest summoning, and 2 mascot exhibition. Also in the sideboard we have duress for control, path of peril for aggressive decks, but also we're running the 1 white, which we can grab with our Field of Ruin, or we can add the white off of our Mana Dorks or the treasure. So you can use that either of those 2 modes. We also have Cragplate Baloth as a way to just have a threat that is difficult for control decks to deal with. Having haste and hexproof, 6/6, maybe make it a 10/10 if you have enough lands. I have yet to do that. And then we also have Lolth, Spider Queen, as another win condition against control, since you want to have, good threats in that position. And so creating 2 black 1 spider tokens with menace and reach, good defense against 4/4 flying haste dragons, and also drawing you cards, since this deck does not really have much in the way of drawing cards. So that's where we're at right now. Alright, so that is Black Green Dreadfeast post Kamigawa.